Good evening, everybody. I'm back to a Raid Shadow Legends video. So, this is, we're going to be covering three different topics today. Hope it's a shorter video than the previous ones we had. As per my friends, the game directors, or the movie directors, whatever they are. So, the first thing is super quick. I fixed the video glitches that I had. I was able finally to have BlueStacks work properly, so I'm not gonna be showing you partial screens anymore. Hopefully, at least. Second thing is a account update. So I was think level 33 last time, level 35. It's getting to a point where I really have to play for a few days, a couple of days at least, until we can get another level. And that's, I don't know if you noticed from my previous energy, I had like 1800. So I spent probably 2000 last few days. There was a holiday here, so I was able to play a little bit more than normal. And still, I'm only 2 levels up. And it's all good, and that's not the main point here, but eventually I need to level up so I can have my energy refresh in a way that in the evenings when I play I may be able to eventually have everything. So outside of that, I now own 4 heroes or 5 that I want to stick with. So of course, Aethel, my main character, she is geared in a very fast way. So she has almost 170 speed, but I'm not going to go over stats or gear because that's what the next video is going to be about. The next guy that I'm keeping is Husk. So he is an excellent um, uh, raid boss. He has a ability that helps him do more damage as the enemy has more damage. So since the guild boss has so much HP, and of course he's very specific for this use, but he's super good. Um, and I even had to invest a little bit so we can progress, and we're going to be covering some of that in the future. Um, this was an amazing pull. So he's probably one of the best healers there is. I'm gonna go over him some other time. Point is, I just got some gear from other characters, and I didn't work on here, so he's not the best right now. But with a little bit of love, and once I'm done with my main objective, which is getting somebody to level 60, and this somebody for now should be Aethel. Um, he should be next then, because with him everything's going to be a little easier. And then the Spirit Host, the farmable hero that is not I haven't invested in her either, and uh, but at least I have now 4 heroes, and everything else is going to be food. And this is actually the next and final and main topic of this video as we move for details on things I have covered in a macro way. So let's start with leveling up to 6 stars. So if you remember, the first two priorities would be: one, get to the end of the campaign where you get the most XP to farm in the game, the best returns when you can do that, when you can solo with the farmer, and then have this farmer become level 60. This is probably where we get to mid game. I'm not there yet, so this is kind of exciting in a way that I can share some of my experience while I'm actually investing on it. I have moved from hard, which I completely cleared, and that's where I got the healer from this shard here, to brutal. I have cleared some of the up to the 6th, which is actually where I wanted to go, because Aethel requires speed gear. So you really need to work your way through the campaign to as far as you can, because far is where you get the most experience. So let's work here. I don't know if I can clear level 6, but I know I can level 1. So let's work real quick on something while I help you guys with some of the tips that I have here. So I'm leveling those 3 guys. Those are food only. So the food, and that's the first thing you're going to cover, where it's coming from. Food comes from campaign. So as you run those levels, as you try to progress and get more XP and eventually even gear, you gain as a reward for completing those tasks some of those guys. And those are the ones you want to run again and again and again so you can get them to max level, evolve them to level 3 in those cases to level 4, and eventually have them feed your main hero up to level 6. So if I run this, and this is brutal, level 1, which is actually good for some of the healers because it provides you with the HP gear. So bear in mind some of the time associated to this video is just because it takes so long to launch things here. So there you go. Let me go to 2 times 2. Boom, dead. So Aether is so fast that she will always be the first. And depending on the fight, she'll actually run twice before somebody else's have a turn. She's almost twice as fast as a 100 speed unit. So this is part of what's great about her. So again, she's cleaning out good here. Sometimes I have issues with the third wave because you see she's not killing anybody. So everybody's going to have a shot on her. And again, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to clear this. I hope so, but I'm not sure, 100% sure. And there she goes. Boom. Yeah, she's all good. It's a little slow. So let's work here a little bit. So I got some 1500 XP. I actually got 20,000. So she got her share, but obviously she's not using for anything. So that's the first thing we have to learn. If I had 2 heroes, her and somebody else, they would get everything that I get. So those 4,800 times 4, roughly 20,000, right? And she would split with this second unit, meaning she would get 10,000, and that would be a waste. And the other unit would be getting 10,000. That would be great for this other unit. That would be the fastest way it could possibly increase the level of a single unit by farming. There are other ways, right? But I would actually be wasting 5,000 on my main hero. So that's why you have to run with possibly 3 other heroes, because now I'm losing a 4th on her because she's max level, she's not getting any XP, but the other 3 heroes are getting the most they can. So I remember from hard or normal that XP is probably half of that. So that's why you want to go as far as you can up to a level that you can carry those other units. But there's a balance. Your time is very precious as well. So the balance here is if you're in a way that energy is not a problem, and that seems to be the case for most of the early games, is to have like 300. I could run this several times and I never ran out of energy. So time is also of essence, and 46 seconds, it's not good. I should probably go back a few levels up to the point where I can clear a stage in like 30 seconds. And that wouldn't be the best, but part of that is because Aethel doesn't have 2 AoE abilities, so she cannot clear her way out of just killing everybody, and she actually does that twice. But at least one time she'll have to do a single target, and then everybody else has a turn, and that's where the time is wasted here. Plus, in this level, since it's so hard for her, she's not going to be one-shotting some of the units, and because of that, it takes so long. So go back, tune down to like 30 seconds, and you should be good. And then keep farming. Do this several times. The only potential deviation from that in the plan is in a sense that, well, your hero is going to require gear. So you may want to, instead of going 2 levels back, maybe go 4 levels back, or stay where you are and be a little slower because you're specifically looking for some piece of gear. And that's why it's so much better playing here than in other cases. Even dragons or spider or anything else, the XP returns are less, the energy costs are more, which makes XP the relationship between how much XP you make and how much energy you spend for that. So I'm spending here 8. This is one of those first stages with, let's say, dragon. So as you move to dragon, let's say, if I wanted to do the same in dragon, I wouldn't get that much XP per energy spent. So again, just reinforcing the fact that the campaign is so much important um, for running those folders. As you get more folders, more food, more fodders, those monsters in here, those brutes in this case, you just be able to level them up in a way that eventually they become 3, 4, and food for Aethel. I have 2 already 5-star food monsters. I need 3 more so I can make her 6 stars. So I'm halfway here, and I really spend like 2 or 3 thousand energy doing that, so that takes a lot. So it's very much important that you make the best out of your energy. Um, the other potential, so let's say you run out of those. So you're running them, you're getting a lot of silver, you're getting a lot of equipment, but you're not getting as many monsters. So the other potential way for you to get those food monsters, and that should easily complement your need for food monsters, would be just summon them. So uh, quite easy. Basically anything that I summon here with my mystery shards is going to be food. There could be exceptions because you could summon 3-star heroes, and some of the 3-star heroes are actually good. They're keepers, something you should be keeping. So be aware, don't waste your heroes. I will eventually cover some of the heroes or some of the details on what to save, but mostly going from 1 or 2-star, just food. So there you go. I now have a lot of food. One note on 1-stars. In my opinion, and this is because of the time that I invest, of the energy that I know that I have, and the fact that I'm not paying, so I'm a free to play, at least right now. I think the game eventually deserves to have you invest a little bit in money, since you're investing so much time. I don't think that's a problem. It's not that you're paying to win, but maybe you're getting something in a different way, and I'm fine with that. But the thing is, I don't recommend you leveling fodders, the food monsters, from level 1. I would say just toss them into. I'm sorry. So yeah, I have 2 of those. Um, just toss those level 1s into your level 2s and 3s. Spend a little bit of silver and save yourself a little bit of energy. Um, there are hundreds of level 1 monsters requires for you to make a level 6 monster. So granted, level 2s are probably require just half of that, but it's still um, concentrate yourself. You may want to have a combination of 2s and 3s depending on how many you have. I don't right now have too many of my 3-star heroes. I probably have less than 10 because I actually moved some of them to level 4. You see, I have outside of my two level five food monsters, I already have two, three, four, five level fours. I have upgraded, so I ate many of my level threes. I already have one level three that's ready to be upgraded, and one of those 3 stars I actually have to keep. It's actually a good unit. Um, but anyway, do a mixture. Maybe have two level twos and one level three as you run the food, and don't deviate from that. That's so much important for your main objectives. Um, so let's cover something real quick in here. There you go. Let me get out of here. And so again, continue leveling up in the campaign. Don't deviate from there. The only possible exception is as you go through missions and it requires you to do some other stuff, please go ahead and do it. That's where you're getting your energy from. Outside of that, go back to the campaign. Try to either concentrate on getting your food, on getting experience, on progressing on the campaign. Use your farmer with 3 fodders so you're not wasting your energy, wasting your experience. Balance the most XP with the fastest level, that thing about your time and your experience. And keep acquire food from leveling and also eventually from summoning. So that's the first set of tips. The second one is remember, keep investing in your farmer. I just spent like 3 million silver, which for an early game player, it's probably a lot. Trying to increase equipment for 2 of my characters, trying to have 3 stars for everything, so I could have my shards. So it's very expensive to invest in everybody or even in a couple characters. So and I have this example about how much I spent with silver for one specific example, which actually is aligned to me getting to brutal and moving forward. But the thing is, if you're spending your resources, your time, your energy, your silver in too many heroes, you end up having nothing. Farm gear. So use this opportunity to going over those different gear sets, and again, we're going to go over in another video about them. And since you cannot simply rush into brutal, you may need some better gear. Do spend your time doing those. Farm energy, so continue doing your missions, your quests, so you can get your energy because eventually, even if you have 2,000, eventually they you run out of them. And finally, I covered a little bit about that. Summon to complement what you have. And the last thing about summoning is, what about those crystals? Should I use them? I would say in the beginning, yes. As you get 900 of them, you're going to be able to have like 10 or 11 summons of I think it's 11 summons of the blue shards. And in the beginning, as you need 3 star monsters, you're not going to be going from 2 stars, and 3 stars will actually help you because you're avoiding having to farm 3 and then move them to max XP and then have another 6 2 stars, so that would be 9 2 stars. And then there's a chance of getting something better. In the beginning, you're not going to have all those good mobs that you eventually need for all your content. So I'd say, yes, in the beginning, please do it a couple of times at least. I did once, and I'm also ready to do the second time. And I would say this is probably the best strategy moving forward. Maybe you want to do for energy refreshes and different things. But listen, in the beginning, that you have the energy and you don't have the mobs, I'd say use them for summoning, at least for a couple of times. Thank you very much and have a great night. See you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.